Hello campers, this is Liam. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to animate in Autodesk Maya. So since you guys are animating something as simple as, let's say, a ball bouncing, it should be fairly simple. Here I've already done a simple ball bouncing animation. Currently it's bouncing on thin air, but you can see that it moves and it, squashes and stretches a little bit. It looks kind of silly, not super good. But I'm sure with some time and effort, it could be improved. But the basic principles of bouncing are there. It loses momentum as it bounces and whatnot. So how do you do this, you might ask? And actually, it's quite simple. So first, you want to get an object. So I'm going to use an object that I have not animated in the scene yet. So I'm going to use this here cube. And what we're going to do is, let's say, first I want to make it animated to go from left to right, let's say. So let's begin with that. So to begin with, you have to have your object, for example, this cube, selected in object mode. And then when you want to, set its starting location, press S while selecting it. Now, I'm going to undo that. You should have your timeline down here set at frame 1. So I'll set it at frame 1 and we'll say this block or cube at this state is going to be here at frame 1. Then we can move our timeline along to, let's say, frame 50. And then move our object to whatever other location we want it to move between frame 1 and 50. Then I press S again to save the transformation, and as we can see, if I move my timeline back to frame 1 and I press play, the cube moves from 1 to 50. So that's really cool. But that's not the only thing we can do. We can also add other transformations, such as rotation and scaling, while it moves from frame 1 to 50. So let's say at frame 30, I want it to get bigger. So I would click on 30 on the timeline, and then I would make it bigger, and then I would press save, and then, as we can see, from frame 1 to 30, it gets bigger, but from frame 30 to 50, it gets smaller again, because at frame 50, I had it saved as a smaller cube. And this also applies to rotation. So let's say at frame 75, we want it to both, let's say, move here, but also rotate so its corner is facing us. So I can press S again at the timeline of 75 and also having moved it there. And then we can see if I move the timeline back and play it, it goes through all of these transformations I've set it to. And using these principles, you can really make a lot of different types of hand animation. So if you want to have your ball, stretch and squash while it's bouncing and compressing against the floor, you can do that. And, you can do a lot of different types of animations. So have fun, messing around with that and trying your own little animations for yourself.